now, after a year of having our electricity membership at the ASX, we're now the #1 execution venue for Australian power contracts.
Wow.
In 1 year. So I think we were doing about 40% of the flow that goes through the Aussie market.
And that's in addition to our position on grains being #1 as well.
#1 on grains, execution. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the clearing stats. But that is, we've always been strong in the grain sector, and that's because we're backed up by Stefan, and we've got guys on the desk who have the knowledge and understanding of how to help people hedge their positions, educate them, tell them about opportunities in the market. So I would say we've probably been #1 in grains for some time. But the electricity market is an exciting opportunity for us, and we've recently brought on a team of 5. So we've got boots on the ground, know the market, keep risk happy, knowing that we know what's going on in the space. And the team that we picked up, they were a different venue, they were just broking. They brought their client base along, and now we can add the broader capabilities to their client base, right? Whether that's clearing or OTC. And we want to build out as many of those capabilities as possible across these new markets that we're pushing into. Similarly with carbon, brought on a team of 3, which nicely ties into what Stefan and Ripley are doing. There's lots of opportunity to start getting out there and pushing these guys out to help educate farmers in the carbon space as well. So we put a lot of work into that electricity and carbon space over the last year. It's been a primary focus for us. I think what's exciting, you look at Australia, and we just came back from ASX, the rates market is such a big market out here. I think it's 4th largest rates market in the world. And we're only just skimming the surface on that. So I think as we kind of push further into the financial space, bring down some other capabilities, which have shifted to Singapore, and we want to pull down to Australia as well, across prime services, equities execution. We've just added outsourced trading. I think there's a lot of growth in that space for us, and we do talk about it. We see banks pulling back from certain customers if they're not hitting certain levels or don't have enough AUM or not hitting revenue targets, and it slots us in nicely.
Well, I think it's indicative of what we're trying to achieve across the organization, is say, look, we have a unique ecosystem and a unique product offering. How can we leverage each location? So in Australia being a perfect example, we now have 3 offices, Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. But how can we leverage all the capabilities we have within StoneX for the client base here? And what's lovely to see is where clients are coming in through a particular product, but then when they see the various capabilities that are available to them, should they want to, they can easily broaden the touch points with StoneX. That's our objective, that's our nirvana. So having clients who deal with us in 4, 5, 6 different touch areas, products, and then we become hugely relevant. But we are seeing, like we're seeing elsewhere in the organization, the banks stepping back. And I think you're seeing it here in Australia.
Look, it's you talk about that cross-selling, Philip, and one of our largest and longest clients, one of the largest sheep producers and grain growers in Australia, they have this charity every year that they donate money to Uganda, and they've built, I think, 100 schools and put about 1,000 kids through schools and universities in Uganda. And we had our payments, we had a client event in Melbourne. It's a poker net that we've held for like 15 years. And we had a fundraiser for these Uganda charity, which is also this client. And we had our payments people there who do currencies. And my colleague who was at the event was like, hey, how are they getting the money from Australian dollars to Uganda? And so now we're not just doing the grain and their livestock hedging for them, but we're also sending Uganda shillings, and we're saving them a heap of money.
Yep.
And this is like, they didn't even know we had this payments business. And now we're sending Uganda shillings for this charity. And yeah, I'm really honored to be, helping them. They're saving money, and we're making money too.
Thank you for watching this clip. To see the full conversation, access more insights in the round with me, Philip Smith, please visit stonex.com.